Welcome to another edition of Sports Overtime. I am your host, Nader Murphic, and man, we have a lot to cover tonight. There's we got Jameis Winston back, Deshaun Watson going to the Browns, and Teron Armstead just signed with a new team. So we're gonna cover all of that here pretty soon. And I just want to give a big shout out to Element Beverage Company for sponsoring Sports Overtime. Really appreciate y'all. Also, man, big shout out to DJ PK1. Big shout out to Rare Media. And big shout out to everybody that tunes into our show every Tuesday, man. We really appreciate y'all. So without further ado, let me introduce my co-host, my brothers. First off, y'all know him. Y'all see him in the dome every time we play a home game or even on the road. You see him on TV. Gotta give it up for my homeboy, Mr. Soul Saint. What is good?
What's up? How y'all doing tonight, man? Hey, we got some bad weather in the area. Hey, I hope everybody stays safe. You know, I'm kind of scared too. I hear, but Saints plus Soul equals Super Bowl. I'm ready to roll.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, make sure y'all be safe, man. We got that tornado warning before we came on, so make sure y'all stay safe. Watch Sports Overtime in a safe place. Watch it in your bathtub or whatever you got to do. Just make sure you turn to Sports Overtime. and then we got to bring in our other co-host, man. This guy does not hold back from saying what he want to say. He always gonna keep it real. He gonna stick to the G code, Mr. Teddy G. What's up?
What's up, Teddy?
Whoa, it's me, Teddy G, sticking to the G code. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. So listen, last week we all was on here. We was going off on each other. We was going crazy. So wanted Jameis Winston. Teddy G was, listen, I want Winston or Watson. It don't matter. And obviously I was on the whole Watson thing. But listen, man, Jameis Winston is finally back in the black and gold. He signed a 2-year deal worth $28 million. 21 of that is guaranteed. So big shout out to Jameis Winston for wanting to come back to the Saints, especially after what happened last week with Watson. And what's your thoughts on that, you guys? I know Soul's very excited about it, but
yeah, man. Let me just say this.
Go right ahead.
I'm glad Jameis is back. I think we owe him this. We owe him a chance to come back and prove that he can be our starter. You know what I'm saying? The whole Watson fiasco was getting on my nerve. It was really aggravating, bro. And, everybody in the world was shocked when we heard this dude sign, because Cleveland was supposed to be out of it. But I think they came back and called him because your boy Baker Mayfield was acting a damn fool. So they said, look, forget Baker, let him go. We're going to try one more time. We're going to give him all the money. They got in the armor cars. They went and got all that money and everything. They came back. They said, let's try one more time. They called him up. They said, there's Cleveland, bro. $230 million guaranteed. Hello?
Shit, I'm coming right now. Let's go.
Let's go. I don't care if we playing in the snow. Let's go. $230 million. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy. I hope, as far as the civil case and everything, I hope that pan out for him. We ain't got to worry about him. This year, if he's playing, if we play him in the latter part of the season, we'll see, if we play him. But we're going to beat that ass anyway. But Jameis, welcome back, brother. I'm happy for you.
Teddy?
I want to give a shout out to Jameis Winston for exercising patience. Okay. I said he didn't do one tweet like Baker Mayfield and others, people in their feelings, I said Jameis Winston was a stand-up guy. He said, you know what? I'm going to stand by and wait until the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes is over, and then I will choose a team. He had teams that wanted him to go there, but y'all know my thing. It's all about the money, baby. And so he ended up at $21 million guaranteed, pretty much like $14 million a year. I'm sure it's incentive-lating based on how many touchdowns he gets and whatnot. So he has the opportunity to make more, but at least the 21 million is guaranteed. And I think he's locked in for the next 2 years with a possibility for him to be here the next 12 to 15 years. So he can kind of copy Drew Brees in that light of being here for a long time. And I think if the defense stays as solid as it does, Jameis Winston and our New Orleans Saints can have success and get, like Soul Saints said, to the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go. NFC is
Now,
weak right now.
I
We can get
do,
Look,
there.
I do
hey,
want
Glow, I had to show my city, and this the nightlife, back here,
I gotta,
right there by the river, the ferry, the river view,
All right, man. We
everything,
adopted. You from Harlem. It's all right.
So I'm sitting out here on a levee,
silly man.
doing my thing.
But look, I know Teddy G brought up the contract, man, and the 14 million, but I kind of want to break down his contract because, it actually could be worth up to $44 million is what a lot of people don't know. So basically he got a signing bonus of 14 mil. In 2022, his base salary is 1.2 million. That's fully guaranteed, right? 2023, he has a base salary of 12.8 million. 5.8 million of that is guaranteed for injury and signing. And the thing is, the contract has 3 voidable years for
Who
cap
that?
purposes, allowing the $14 million signing bonus to be spread over the 5 years. So the deal includes a whopping $16 million in incentives with the same $8 million package in 2022 and 23. Here's the crazy thing, because if obviously he wants to go to the playoffs, obviously he wants to reach the Super Bowl, right? So for each playoff win Winston plays at least 50% of the snaps, he gets $500,000 up to $2 million per year. So for taking at least 70% of the snaps and having the team make the playoffs, he gets $500,000 per year. So which is really good. He also gets $500,000 in either or both of the years for making it to the Pro Bowl, $1.5 million for being in the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year in both years, and $1.5 million for winning the Super Bowl MVP award. So again, they got a lot of incentives in his contract. I am happy that he was able to sign back with the Saints because the Colts had gave him an itinerary where they were going to send a jet out to him in Birmingham where he's training to get him to come to Indianapolis and, do an interview and a physical and things like that. And so obviously he called them back and said, look, I'm not even coming. I'm going to the Saints, man. And so right after he did that, the Colts hurried up and made a trade for Matt Ryan to go to the Colts and not Jameis Winston. So
That's a good move on their part because they got a good offensive line and everything over there. They got a great running back. Yep. I think Matt Ryan gonna go out winning, bro. I mean, AFC hard though. AFC got a lot of good quarterbacks, boy.
Yeah,
it's hard over there.
Yeah. And Winston obviously tore his ACL on Halloween. And it was reported by Adam Schefter that he will be ready for training camp this summer. So, listen, let's get it, man. Run it back, Turbo. Run it back, Turbo. Let's get it.
Thank you, Tim. Tell Ryan to go play in the rain. You right, bro. Ryan Surfer, boy, that boy there, boy. He will not quit. But we're going to let him. That's going to be our troll. Let him troll and say crazy shit.
Listen, it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
But listen, the one thing I do want to say, and maybe y'all could touch on this, is obviously this offseason, I guess the key word that you can kind of put out there is continuity. We obviously had Dennis Allen, as our defensive coordinator. They upgraded him to coach. Obviously, we had Ryan Nelson as the D-line coach. They moved him up to D coordinator, and I actually seen him this past Saturday, and I congratulated him on his promotion and stuff. And we're actually gonna get him on Sports Overtime. I switched contact with him, and he told me he will do Sports Overtime. So y'all stay tuned. We're gonna definitely have Ryan Nelson on. But the continuity thing with Jameis coming back, and he don't have to learn the whole playbook over again. He's rehabbing right now, so that's one less thing that he has to worry about. So, I mean, it's a good thing that we did sign him back. Obviously, we went all out for Watson. We were trying to get Watson and things like that. But at the same time, the way I kind of look at it, maybe Teddy G could kind of emphasize on this. It's kind of like wanting that Instagram model, but knowing that you gotta listen. You can't mess with that right now. They got too many people trying to mess with that. Let me just get the humble girl that you know is gonna take care of you and do right by you. So am I right or am I wrong?
Well, y'all arguing me down, both of y'all, when I use the word continuity, especially so. Look, I said at the end of the day, I told y'all what was going to happen. I said everybody was going to get a promotion, and they was going to keep the same quarterback. Now, the Deshaun Watson situation with his criminal suit went away. The Saints, they swung and they missed, which is fine. And I'm glad that he went to the AFC. I'm glad he didn't go to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sidebar, watch out for Marcus Mariota, because Mariota, however you want to call it. I said Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota have a lot of history, so that's going to be a new battle. And I think Atlanta finally figured out that Matt Ryan wasn't the answer. So a lot of people saying Marcus Mariota is not going to be good. I disagree. I think Marcus Mariota is a great quarterback, and he's finally getting his third opportunity to be a starter for a team. So watch out for him. But Dennis Allen is going to put emphasis on his defense, and I think one of the coolest things that he's done, because he's making decisions. And I think that if your new coach, your new head coach is a defense coordinator, and he chooses not to keep you, that says that you are expendable. Marcus Williams. So we replace you with Mr. May from the New York Jets. He has speed, he has range, and he can hit. That's my main thing about Marcus Williams. He has a lack of tackling ability, and I think that this coach is going to put an emphasis on defense. And I really do think that Pete Carmichael Jr. is going to trust Jameis Winston and his offense being 3 years in and let that thing fly. So I think that, the Saints are going to be putting up more points. And I think that we're going to get back to blowing teams out, especially inferior teams. I think the Saints are going to go back to blowing teams out because you won't be able to score. And Jameis Winston and, Kamara, and with Michael Thomas being back, I think the Saints are going to be a juggernaut in the NFC. San Francisco has been weakened. So has the Los Angeles Rams. Yes. And also, the Seattle Seahawks, definitely. So, I think that the Saints are definitely playoff contenders, Super Bowl contenders this year, with my keyword, continuity, keeping everything the same, keeping the same playbook, because I'm coming at you. So you said, I want to change the whole playbook. I want everything brand new. Yeah, I want everything brand new.
Look,
I want Eric
Bieniemy way back in the past, bro. But look, let me elaborate on that. It's going to be a new competition, quarterback competition. You're right, because Marcus Mariota always felt like he should have been the first quarterback drafted. He feel like he is better than J-Bo. So that's going to be him and J-Bo came out the same year. So hey, it's going to be a battle between those two guys. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing J-Bo come back fully healthy, man, and run this offense and don't have handcuffs on him. Dennis, let him play. Let him throw the ball. Let him do what he do. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to use our running game. See, that's something Tampa didn't have back when J-Bo was there. And use Kamara out the backfield, dink and dunk. Like you said, don't always try to go for the big play all the time. Let's move the ball down the field. J-Bo, don't throw it in the double, triple coverage, things like that. So, I'm sure I'm almost positive he's learned that. And I think he's going to be a great quarterback for us. And if he does well this year, they'll go back to the table and give that boy a long extension. I really think they'll do that for him. And if not this year, next year. So we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Watson, I don't know if he had any incentives. He don't need none with 230 guaranteed. He don't need no incentives.
He good.
He's good. He good to go. So hey, we lost our left tackle. That's an important piece. Yep. So either we're gonna move Ramczyk to the left, because you have to understand that's your blind side. So the quarterback can't see what's coming over here. So we need something tough on that side. We need something solid on that left tackle position. So I say move Ramczyk over there. Let's draft a solid rookie at right tackle or go in free agency and see what we can do. But we need to protect Jameis. We really do. We need to protect him.
Especially after coming back from the injury. He's coming back from an injury. We definitely got to protect him. And for those who don't know what Soul's talking about, the Miami Dolphins signed Teron Armstead to a 5-year deal about 5 minutes or 10 minutes before we came on live. A 5-year deal worth $87.5 million, including $43 million guaranteed. Teron Armstead just dropped a video on his Instagram saying, Miami, I'm on my way. Let's get it. So obviously, he wants to get paid. He doesn't really know. He's always hurt, and the thing is, obviously, if somebody's going to give you $43 million guaranteed, you're going to end up taking it because you don't know what's going to happen with your career and with your health and things like that. But going back to the Watson and the Winston situation, listen, the Saints didn't have to give up any picks.
I'm smoking that Pickett.
That's the Pickett man. That's the Pickett man.
That's the Pickett man talking down there.
But again, y'all, the Saints didn't have to give up any picks or players after missing out on Deshaun Watson. They freed almost $30 million in cap space. They was trying to sign him. They got money. And Soul and Teddy G, I know Teddy said, obviously with Mike Thomas, we're Super Bowl contenders, but I feel as though, man, the Saints got to go out and get a number 2 receiver, number 3 receiver, whoever it may be. Because right now, the only people we really talking about on offense is, obviously Deontay Harris, Mike Thomas, Kamara. I mean, Traquan Smith is a free agent. He went and visited the Falcons. Not saying that that's something huge that, if we do lose him, it's not going to be nothing, crazy. But, I mean, there's still wide receivers available, man. You got guys like Will Fuller. You got Sammy Watkins. You got A.J. Green, a guy that I really like, Marquez Valdez-Scantling from Green Bay, Cole Beasley, Deshaun Jackson, Jarvis Landry, OBJ. Again, Julio Jones is now a free agent. So, again, there's a lot of players, that are still out there available for the Saints to pick. And now you're in a situation where, we all know the Saints always like to fill their needs through free agency and then go best player available when it's draft time. But now you're in a situation where you desperately need a wide receiver and you desperately need an offensive tackle.
Yeah, I think that, you're absolutely right, Nader.
Yeah.
However, I'll put emphasis on the left tackle because the problem is last year we had a lot of different number 2 receivers. We just didn't have a number 1.
Right.
And so I think with our number 1 receiver coming back, it will elevate the play of our second and third string receivers, mainly our deep threat and also Callaway. I think Callaway and our kick returner, we have 2 possession receivers in Michael Thomas, who was formerly the best wide receiver in the league. Now we have Marcus Callaway, who wears number 1, but at the end of the day, he will be a number 2 wide receiver. And if he can get single coverage, he's going to eat, along with, our kick returner. What's his name? He just signed again.
Deontay Harris.
Deontay Harris. I think Deontay Harris is going to get big numbers this year because he's going to be looked at as the third guy. And I think he's going to be doing those sweeps, especially with Alvin Kamara after being out the first maybe 2-3 games, let's call it. I think that, these wide receivers are going to eat. I would like to see them bring in another wide receiver.
Right.
But the left tackle position, I think, is most important in the draft and whatnot. And this is the best reason why, I agreed with, Soul and bringing back Jameis Winston. We are keeping all our assets. We've been building this team for the last couple of years, and we have great players. I wonder if C.J. Gardner-Johnson is going to put his black and gold back on his Twitter account, I said, but I can tell you, I said, a lot of teams went through it, but if we can put this team back together emotionally, physically, and mentally, I think the Saints will be hard to beat. So that the left tackle position, if they square that away, and I think that they're going to spend some money at that position, if not drafting someone. I want to say one thing about Teron Armstead. Shouts out to HBCUs. No one thought he could do it. He came from a historically black college, and he was drafted in the 3rd round. They said he's too small. They said he can't be a left tackle. That man served left tackle for at least, 10, 12, 15 years almost?
Yeah.
He was here right when, Drew Brees got here, like the 2nd year. So I want to give thanks to T-Stad. And I think he's been a steady hand in that locker room. So cheers to you, man. Have a ball, have a blast in Miami. Just know y'all ain't winning nothing. All right, go ahead.
Let me say something right quick, Native. I know you're about to go to another topic, but you know what? Watson, he bruised a lot of relationships this past week. You know, Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, he bruised that relationship.
Yep.
Matt Ryan and the Falcons. You know, Chauncey Gardner with the Saints. You know, so a lot of healing needs to come. You know, and you see what happened with Atlanta. They traded Matt Ryan, which I think Matt is happy because he's going to a way better team than Atlanta.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
I know he is happy. You know, he sweat, blood, and tears in Atlanta. You know, losing, getting beat up by Cam Jordan every year. You know, I know the boy is happy. He's leaving the NFC South because
and so not to backtrack, but you know, with the whole Chauncey Gardner Johnson situation, you know, I think Chauncey was just trolling people on social media because from what I heard, his name was never mentioned in a trade. Everything was 3 first-round picks, a third, and Ruiz. Ruiz was the name that was being brought up. Every time I talked to anybody, it was Ruiz, right? Never Chauncey Gardner Johnson at all. So I think he was just doing that just to troll people and stuff like that. But just to answer Rory's question that you put up on the screen, you know, what was my initial thoughts when Watson went to the Browns? To be honest with you, you know, I was kind of drove because we waited so long to get an answer. And then the answer that we got was, oh, he's going to the Browns. But to be honest with you, I really wasn't as mad as I thought I was going to be because, you know, that day or the day before, you know, the Falcons fans, and there was a guy on Twitter who was like, he's coming to the Falcons and this and this and this and that. And then next thing you know, everybody in Atlanta was like, oh, it's about to get real scary out here. Kyle Pitts tweeted that it's about to get real scary. And then you start to think like, oh man, they share agents. You know, he might really be going to Atlanta. You know, it's Georgia, it's his hometown, whatever. And then he ends up doing the 360 and going to the Browns and then going to the AFC team. I went from mad to being like, all right, cool. Let's
we laughing at the Dirty Birds.
Yeah.
And that's getting it, bro.
And that's the thing. You go from Watson, you go from telling people you got Watson and celebrating you got Watson to then go and sign Marcus Mariota yesterday. I mean, when you talk about the Falcons in a poverty franchise, I mean, they're the definition of poverty. They just are. They really are.
Yeah.
They just are, you know. So
you know, Terry Fontenot is the general manager of the Falcons, right? Comes from New Orleans Saints. And I know he's been trying to talk to them for the last 2 years about getting rid of Matt Ryan. And he had to get rid of Matt Ryan with a crowbar. And I know that Deshaun Watson helped with that because Matt Ryan was like, man, okay, y'all don't love me like I thought you did. So let me go ahead on and facilitate this trade to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I said, now if they would have drafted Justin Fields last year like they probably should have, you know, they probably, and that's what Terry Fontenot wanted to do. I said, but you take a look at the Cleveland situation, right? I said, Cleveland, that's $230 million guaranteed. And I think that the Saints really dodged the bullet there. When you really take a look at it, a lot of us were enamored with Deshaun Watson. You know, I really wanted everything to stay the same, like I said, right when Sean Payton stepped down. But when Deshaun Watson came out, it's kind of like glitz and glamour real quick. You're like, man, he's great. He's this, that, and the other. But you really have to take a look at the opportunity cost. So, you know, especially when he was stringing us along. This is the thing that I wanted to say. Deshaun Watson is an ATL kid, right? He's a Georgia kid. And his mom was given a house by Warwick Dunn, okay, when he was a kid. And so he had emotions and, you know, tied into the Atlanta franchise. So I want to definitely tip my hat. I want to tip my hat to Deshaun Watson for choosing to go for the money. It was like Atlanta was like, look, if you don't come to Atlanta, we're gonna take your mama house back. He was like, man, look, I got enough money.
Brand new house.
He's like, I got enough money to buy my mama 50 houses, man. Get up out of here, man. We're going to Cleveland.
What's funny about it is they tweeted the day before he made his decision that like Quavo and the Migos and all of these people from Atlanta that are superstars and like celebrities, they reached out to him and said, "Come to the Falcons, come to the Falcons." And the thing about it is, it was just all over the place because they had a bunch of people from Atlanta reaching out to him. They had a bunch of people from the Saints, like Michael Thomas, Mark Ingram, Roby, all of these guys was texting him and reaching out to him, and he was telling them like, "Yo, I want to come to the Saints. I want to come to the Saints, but it's a hard decision for me." But then, boy, when Cleveland came in with that 230 M's, he was like, "Boy, I ain't worried about no Saints, and I ain't worried about no hometown team. I'm going to get my money." And the thing is, too, him going to the Browns isn't a bad move. I mean, the Browns do have, a good offensive line. They do have a good running game in Kareem Hunt and Chubb. They just signed Amari Cooper. I mean, they decent. But the AFC is stacked. The AFC
Don't sleep. Amari Cooper got the best feet in the game. He run the best routes in the game. If you know football, Amari Cooper is a dog. So that probably helped with this Deshaun Watson decision, especially with that 230 million guaranteed, baby. Oh man, I'm happy for him, man. Cleveland, hopefully, Deshaun Watson goes up there and shines like a light. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad he didn't go to the Dirty Birds, man, because then they would have been capable, at least capable at quarterback.
And Teddy, you're right. And the thing that also comes with him is they had Browns fans that aren't like, they're not okay with signing him. They all were making jerseys that said the number with the number 22 on it and had allegation in the name on the back of the jersey. So, that comes with the territory and signing a QB like that. So I don't know. Now that I look at the big picture, I know we was all down for Watson, and I was advocating for Watson. Don't get me wrong. If he would have signed with the Saints, I would have been happy as hell. We would have dealt with any repercussions outside of that.
And listen, that's all I was saying. That's all I was saying last week. I'm not condoning what the man has done or what he's been accused of, but that's why they have a court system. But what I was saying, and I will stand by, is that you see how they putting 22 on the back of the jerseys and stuff like that. I don't think Saints fans would have antagonized him like that. I said once you were chosen as a New Orleans Saint, I said bygones is bygones. They're not going, just don't do nothing else. You see, I said so. I think Deshaun Watson would have been able to come here, and probably would have had some people would have made the news. But in Cleveland, they're gonna give that boy the blues because that's the Midwest, and they're gonna and some of that stuff is very personal out there, and they're gonna really give him the blues. So Cleveland, they're gonna have to get used to him. They're gonna have to get used. I don't remember the last time they had a black man at quarterback, but I remember the guy who they drafted. And Deshaun Watson, he may, he gonna have to sleep on that 230 million sometimes to get some rest and quiet, some peace and quiet. They might be picketing on that man lawn, all type of stuff out there in Cleveland.
Von Keith, yeah, I don't get upset with Ron, bro. That's just the way he is. He loves to play and clown. He's just a troll, I mean, he my boy and everything, but he is a Saints fan, believe it or not. But I mean, Ron just he just like to have fun and drive people. That's his job.
Yeah, like we know with the contract that they just gave Winston, he is going to be the starters. It's not an April Fool's joke. It ain't none of that. Winston will be the starter. And for those who don't know, Dennis Allen pretty much said on a podcast that the Taysom Hill experience at QB is pretty much over. So listen, we going into this year. We ain't got to talk. Me, Teddy, and Soul ain't got to talk about this whole offseason. It's a quarterback battle. Who's gonna start? Who's not gonna?
Ain't no competition.
Ain't no competition. We know who it is. It's gonna be Winston, and that's what we rolling with.
How much do you guys believe in Pete Carmichael Jr. when we're talking about the ideological concept of continuity for the Saints offense?
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I just feel as though, like I said earlier, Teddy G, I feel as though, man, the Saints got to make a couple wide receiver moves. I think another move that is a lot of people not talking about is the running back position, because obviously if Kamara suspended 4 to 6 games, who's gonna tote the rock? Is it gonna be Mark Ingram? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Mark Ingram
Yeah.
consistently. So we need a guy like a Melvin Gordon that's still out there who might could come in and help this team. These first 4 games, 6 games. Get him rolling.
Let
There's
me tell.
also there's
Mm-hmm.
also Emmanuel Sanders still out there too. He knows the
He might
system.
want to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can
I
afford him.
wanted
We can
Leonard
afford him.
Fournette. I wanted Leonard Fournette as our back, but he signed back with Tampa, so they're gonna try to make it another run. Leonard Fournette just
Yeah,
signed.
I just want to let you guys know that I am absolutely thrilled that Pete Carmichael Jr. is finally getting his opportunities to call the plays without Sean Payton looking over his
See
shoulder.
what he can do.
And I'm telling you, over the years, Sean Payton, he became very predictable. And that offense can do much more than what he was doing. I think Sean Payton was calling like the same plays over and over. And I'm just telling you, Pete Carmichael Jr., he knows how to use the personnel that he has.
Right.
Those 2 games that Sean Payton went down, one when he had COVID and the other one when he broke his leg, the offense bust through the seams and they were flying over everywhere. So I think Pete Carmichael Jr. is finally getting his opportunity. And that's the thing that I am most excited about. Dennis Allen being a head coach, that's fine. They had to give him the head coach position to keep him as defense coordinator, but he has 2 defense coordinators. But there is one offensive coordinator, and his name is Pete Carmichael Jr. He wear glasses. If y'all don't know who he is, Saints fans, get familiar with him. I said him, Drew Brees, and Sean Payton used to spend hours on the first 15 plays of a game. And it's Pete Carmichael's show right now. And I'm so glad he has an opportunity, to get busy calling
Yeah,
the plays.
let's go.
Yeah. No, I agree with that completely. Now, looking at the Saints roster right now, like I said, I still feel there's a few holes that they need to fill. Hopefully, they can fill a few of these before the draft. So obviously, I would rank number 1 wide receiver, 2 O linemen, 3 running back, defensive tackle. They need another guy to be in a rotation at DT, and then safety and running back. So or tight end, I should say.
Well,
Safety.
Nader, they just signed that guy from San Francisco, that veteran. That
Yeah. Yeah, the one who messed up Drew Brees in that game against the
Right.
49ers. Yeah, I
Cracked his
get it.
ribs.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I didn't even know we had 12 ribs. That boy cracked a dozen ribs, boy.
You learn something every day. Nah, I wouldn't say that he's phony. I would just
Nah.
say he's not phony, man. He all he could do. They gave him a lot of guaranteed money, 43 M's.
Yeah,
And
we just
listen,
couldn't give
man,
him that.
it's Miami, bro. You going from New Orleans to
Man,
Miami.
look. And plus Olmstead, he rapped too. So he going down there. He might sign with
What's up,
Trick Daddy.
MJ?
He might go down there and sign with Rick Ross. Oh,
Trick
I
love
said
the kid.
Olmstead, like I said, man, tribute to Olmstead. He gave us a good, at least a dozen years. I don't know the exact amount, but he gave us a awesome opportunity, and he made a name for himself. And what do you do when you make a name for yourself? You go and get paid. So these Saints players, and once you win a Super Bowl, and once you a Pro Bowl player perennially, the Miami Dolphins was like, we got to get Teron Armstead. And the Saints were not going to pay Teron Armstead that type of money.
Right.
So it's time for us to reboot at the left tackle position, whether that's through the draft or through free agency. And I think it'll probably be both. I think they'll get a nice free agent, but also draft a left tackle high in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a left tackle first in the draft.
Like I said, I would rather, because you have to remember, Ramchek can play both sides. He can play left and right. I would want to put somebody super solid on that left side, man. I don't know if I trust a rookie with my blind side. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said put Ramchek on that side and let's draft the right tackle. Let him, get better. But we'll see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, we just got to protect Jameis in the best way possible. We just got to protect Jameis again, coming off that injury. We definitely got to protect Jameis. But I think hopefully in the next couple of days they'll sign a couple of players. I wouldn't mind getting Jarvis Landry. I mean, you got to think if this could go out and sign Jarvis and say a guy like Odell, who probably isn't gonna be ready for the season, probably be ready
Odell.
for the season.
Damaged goods.
Odell might be on the menu. Odell might be on the menu for real.
LSU boys come to the Saints and with Callaway and
meet up in New Orleans.
Mike Thomas, and then you got and also too, I reported this last week. I don't know if a lot of people seen it on Twitter, but because not a lot of people knew, but Marquez Callaway had surgery on his thumb the second day of the season, so he's gonna be
should
fine.
Be all right.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine for training camp. There was a lot of players that had surgery this off season that a lot of people aren't talking about, but one of them is Marquez Callaway, who had thumb surgery, and he'll be ready for the season though.
That's right, Rory.
Yeah,
ain't got to worry about that. All that bullshit going in the dome, showing the card and all that. Yeah, we should be good this year.
Julio Von Keith, Julio is still available as well, but Matt Ryan is advocating for him to come to the Colts with him. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, man, there's guys out there. I think another wide receiver that a lot of people sleeping on is McCole Hardman from the Chiefs. I really like him. He's a speedster. You got Valdez-Scantling from Green Bay. He had some tremendous catches last year in Green Bay. So you got some wide receivers that you can get.
What about McCleskey? What about our guys? The guy that went and practiced with Kaepernick.
Yeah,
Colin Kaepernick, my frat brother. Yeah, JJ McCleskey's son. I said the Saints they be having wide receivers in the back room and on the practice squad, ready to come up.
I think I think having Michael back and getting another receiver will help Deontay on the big plays.
Yeah,
him and Winston got a little chemistry on the deep ball.
Oh, big time.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, we had a lot of number 2 wide receivers last year. We just did not have a number 1. We didn't have a wide receiver that could break, contain, and beat double teams like Michael Thomas can. So if they double teaming Michael Thomas, they're just going to open it up for everybody else.
Yeah, McCole Hardman, I think he's a little disgruntled because they showed a picture and they had J.J. Smith on the picture with I think Kelsey and he said, what about me? And Tyreek Hill, and they left him out. So McCole was like, okay,
and
cool.
Look, and McCole,
I love to have McCole with all that speed.
And McCole has a good relationship with Mark Ingram. He has a really good relationship with Mark Ingram. He was actually on Mark Ingram podcast. They was talking about him coming to the Saints, before the season ended. And he was like, we'll see or whatever. So I don't know, man. I just feel as though if you don't want to spend big money on a wide receiver, I think go out, get a guy like McCole Hardman, go out and get a guy like Valdez-Scantling from Green Bay. Jameis is the type of quarterback that he has a cannon. He's going to be able to sling the ball regardless. And like you guys touched on, Callaway is going to be way better this year because the full attention isn't going to be focused on him anymore. They're going to try to double team Mike. He's going to get a lot of, situations where he's one-on-one. So it's, Callaway's going to do good. Deontay Harris is going to do good. But we got to factor in a Nicole Hardman or somebody else in the mix for sure.
Yeah.
Please let Traquan Smith go to ATL. Please.
Yeah, you stupid. Now, one thing that you brought up, Teddy G, that I kind of wanted to talk about as far as NFL news and just news in general is, the whole Colin Kaepernick situation. He had a workout yesterday at Edna Carr, and man, I got invited to go, and it was pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, like it was pretty cool seeing him he hasn't played in the NFL in 5 years, and seeing him after watching the documentary on Netflix and things like that, man, he still can play. He still has zip on the ball. When I tell you, Teddy G, you even brought it up. McCleskey, JJ McCleskey, bro, he was catching the ball. All you heard was, you hear it, man. I'm like, damn. All you hear is just zip on the ball. Every play. And, he was cool. He was a cool dude. And, he basically, man, a lot of people like to talk shit about him. They talk about him. What's that? Oh, that's me and Cap.
That's a Nuke Nation right there, boy. That's Cap Alpha Side right there, boy. That's Nuke, boy. That's how they make them nukes.
I'm always talking about my height, bro. I'm 5'6". I'm sorry. I'm in a lot of pictures with dudes that 6'5".
And you won't try and play me in basketball. Child, please.
Man,
listen,
you beat me.
What I'm telling you about Colin Kaepernick, boy. Colin Kaepernick, boy. Let me tell you, my boy. Look, and I can tell you this, Colin Kaepernick, you know, he's very talented, but he would have a problem coming down here. See, this is the deep South. Colin Kaepernick came down here. Now he would be protested against. He would be protested against. You know, from all these. I'm sorry if this is sports. We ain't talking about politics, but he would be protested by these Trump supporters and whatnot. Talk about he don't love this country. Let me tell you something. Colin Kaepernick loves this country. He just wants everybody to be treated fairly. Police brutality is what he does not love. And so I'm telling you, man, shouts out to my brother Colin Kaepernick. He put his neck on a line, a Super Bowl um, quarterback, brought his team to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. I said, Colin Kaepernick, he is an awesome talent, but he just stood up for what he believed in, and I commend him for that with a capital K, my boy. Capital
I would love,
K,
you know, Colin Kaepernick is the perfect, ideal person to make a movie about, because if he comes back and one team just gives him the opportunity to play, and he brings that team to the Super Bowl and wins a Super Bowl, just think what kind of movie that'll be. This dude was out of football since 2016. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of years, bro. And then come back, just like like your boy with the Rams, you know. He was working in the grocery store. Kurt Warner, right. Just think of the
That was a great movie, by the way.
Colin Kaepernick, you know, he was all for, you know, and he got kicked out of football, and he came back and brought a team all the way to the bowl.
Hey, bro,
probably won't happen, y'all want to know, but it'll be a good story.
Y'all want to know what I would do if I was Colin Kaepernick? I'd go straight to the MLB. I'd go straight to the baseball league, and then bust him up in the baseball league. That boy, he was actually recruited. He was recruited more, and you know he's been hanging with professional baseball players now. Like when he goes to the games and stuff, he's hanging with Monty Betts and stuff like that, and all these big baseball players. Yeah. He was a two-sport athlete, but they wanted him in baseball. But they wanted him in baseball first. You know what I'm saying? So Deion Sanders, you know, then Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick go to the baseball league, and he can get big time money in the baseball league. You know what I mean? Listen, so if I was him, that's what I would do.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was watching him yesterday out there on the field, and I'm like, man, if you know, I know he could be a starter somewhere, but man, I was like, bro, if we had him as a backup quarterback, I think that would be fire. Him and Winston. But again, it's probably not gonna happen because of everything that went on, and obviously, you know, he sued the NFL and he got money from the NFL.
It would be fire, all right. It would be fire being burnt outside, boy.
But you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I seen the comments on my post. I posted it on Twitter, Teddy G. I posted it on Twitter, and everybody was commenting, and it was like I had like 160, 170 comments on it, and a lot of people was like, "Man, he's a horrible human. He's this, he's that." And then some people, I was dying laughing yesterday, Teddy, because they was like, "How this dude advocating racism and trying to stop racism, but he taking a picture with Nader racist."
Oh.
I'm like, bro, y'all so stupid, bro. You think if I'm racist, you think they gonna invite me to their camp? Come on, bro. Like y'all gotta leave that shit alone, bro.
Say, bro, Nader, you can't be racist. You can't be racist, Nader. You black. You're a black man.
They stupid, man.
Being black is not a matter of pigmentation.
They crazy, bro. But yeah, man. Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
African.
Again, it was very nice to see him, meet him, and see him like, you know, really, he still got it, man. He really still got it. So I hope he lands somewhere this season, man. He's actually flying to Seattle right now. He's gonna go work out in Seattle, do a workout he did here. He's gonna go to Seattle and do another one. So
and guess what team he's close to up there? You know, he got a chip on his shoulder. He played the San Francisco 49ers twice a season.
If I was the Seattle Seahawks, I would pick up Colin Kaepernick today. Okay. You know.
I would
not Baker Mayfield.
Speaking of racist,
Mayfield it reminds me.
I think they're less racist up there. Y'all think I'm wrong?
I would rather him than Drew Lock.
Do y'all think Seattle is less racist up there in the Northwest?
Yeah. The South is always going to be more racist than anywhere.
Based on experience and me and Soul going out there last year for the game, I mean, a lot of people didn't really give us no problem or nothing.
Right. Yeah, more problem right here.
I mean, listen, I know I'm Peach, but
What you said, Peach?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, we didn't have no issues with it. So
But
I don't know.
yeah,
Man,
But
bro, I love Colin Kaepernick. At one point, I thought Colin Kaepernick was the reincarnation, Jesus coming down from the cross. I'm like, he testing everybody
it's
to
not.
see
It's not.
how he
It's
gonna be persecuted out here. The man standing up for what he believe in. They persecuted this man. It's just an example that Jesus was a man. You understand
but
what I'm
see
saying?
now he
And
said
Colin
some
Kaepernick was a
crazy
man. He a
shit.
man about his,
He's
bro.
talking
That
about doing
man,
away with
that
the
man gonna say
police
what he
force.
feels,
Nah, I'm
and he's
not
gonna stand
saying
up for the people that
corruption.
are
Yeah, I
less
want the police
fortunate.
forces all over
So
the
I
place.
always commend my guy, man.
Police
That's what
force.
Noop's all about. Cap Alpha Psi, leadership since 1911,
Yeah,
achievement in
you're
every
right.
field of human endeavor.
Yeah. I mean, we got to have authoritative figures,
But
to keep
again,
the peace.
but again, though, but again, the life that we live in, the world that we live in,
So, Pimp,
you're gonna have people that like you. You're gonna have people that dislike you. I mean, I don't really think he cares anymore. I mean, he's still sponsored by Nike. He has a documentary he made money on. He sued the NFL, and actually one of his best friends was out there yesterday with him, Eric Reed. Y'all know Eric
Eric
Reed.
Reed. Now that's a good safety.
Yeah, he was out there practicing with them and stuff, and they both been blackballed by the NFL because of them,
bye, Ryan.
for what they believe in.
Bye. See you
So
later.
he's still
See you
talking
later,
about.
Ryan. Go
He's
get you some sleep. Get you some sleep.
he's still talking about.
Pickett got little hands, man. Pickett got little hands, man, like Donald Trump. We can't use that.
Like
He
we
do. His
like
hands are small.
like we touched on a little earlier in the show, man. Matt Ryan was traded to the Colts yesterday. The Falcons took a $46 million cap hit to trade him.
And that's Terry Fontenot, being able to know that it's time to pull the trigger. I said Matt Ryan represents the NFL of old, right? You have to be able to get out of the pocket. Now, the one time that Atlanta beat us last year, Matt Ryan pulled a fast one on us. I've never seen Matt Ryan get out of the pocket, start running around, shaking people. He shook DeMario up
Twice.
in that game, twice. So
Listen.
Matt Ryan got out of the pocket because he knows that the Saints play man coverage, and the way that you beat us is if you have a mobile quarterback. So I said Marcus Mariota, he's faster than Jameis Winston. Okay, so I think Atlanta Falcons did good for themselves, and that boy been getting rested over there in Las Vegas, and I think Marcus Mariota is gonna come in here with it on his mind. Okay, so shouts out to Terry Fontenot trying to take Atlanta in the right direction, but they're gonna struggle because one of their wide receivers has been suspended for an entire year because of the gambling. I guess he was watching too much of them Caesar Sportsbook commercials.
FanDuel.
Yeah, but he was on Caesar Sportsbook too. You are Caesar. I am Caesar. You are Caesar. We are Caesar.
Look, but listen to this. Listen to this. This is a tweet today from a guy named Warren Sharp, right? He said, "This is how bad teams stay bad. Entering the week, Atlanta was set to get a free 4th and 5th round comp pick next year because of players they lost in free agency. But then they signed Mariota and a 1-year linebacker rental, Lorenzo Carter. So they've lost both picks."
Oh yeah. Shouts out to Miss Kim Honorary. Yeah, ATL is trash, and they're gonna be trash for a few more years. I said, I think Terry Fontenot is trying to help them to get better, but they just don't make good decisions. Y'all want to know the number one reason why they could not get Deshaun Watson? Because Deshaun Watson wanted to go to ATL. ATL's money wasn't together, and they couldn't get Matt Ryan out there fast enough. And it was just they didn't have their ducks in a row. One thing the Saints had, we had our ducks in a row. It was all about the decision for Deshaun to come here, and I think he didn't want to hurt Atlanta's feelings because the best that he could do was go to Cleveland and just keep both of us out of it. He knows that this rivalry is real, even though Sean Payton says it ain't. Rivalry. Rivalry.
Yep. No, you're right.
Ain't no rivalry. You better check my record.
A rivalry is when a team wins, then the next year they win, then you win, then they win. Tampa Bay and Atlanta ain't no rivalry.
We've been spanking that ass every year. Every year we be spanking that ass. It ain't no rivalry, y'all. They are
That's
little
more
brothers.
like a domination. More
They
like
are
a
little
domination.
brothers. They are little brothers. We be whipping that ass. They are little brothers. But the Falcons did sign running back / wide receiver Cordell Patterson back. So he had a good year last year. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, but again, man, they went from talking shit to getting for Watson to getting Mariota, and again, poverty franchise. That's just what
I can
they
tell
are.
you, man. If we wouldn't have been able to get Jameis Winston back, I've been said. I always liked Mariota. I always felt like Marcus Mariota should have been drafted before Winston, because y'all remember when they played each other in college, the Oregon Ducks beat Jameis Winston and them like 63-7. Just like Trevor Lawrence got beat. They beat the brakes off him with Justin Fields. So, at the end of the day, Jameis Winston was a Heisman Trophy winner, and he comes from pedigree. Jameis Winston has always been ranked number one in his class, like ever since he was like 12 years old, like moving up. So Marcus Mariota came in, and he just happened to win that game. And so for me, I was like, I would prefer Marcus Mariota, especially with some of the, I'm not going to speak on the man's scandals and stuff, but if we would have missed out on Watson and Winston, I would have said, let's go and get Marcus Mariota from Las Vegas. But, at the end of the day, I am most certainly happy with who we have. I am most certainly happy with our offense coordinator, and we get to keep all of our players. And we have, $30 million in cap space? So the Saints now, they can make a splash because they were trying to make a splash with Watson. They created all that cap space. And so now they can go out and sign some quality free agents at the wide receiver position, at left tackle, and even on the defensive side. Probably have to get another running back, too, if number 41 is going to miss the first couple of games.
Right. That's what I said. Yep.
Yep.
That's what I said. Yep. Teron Armstead just tweeted 30 minutes ago saying, New Orleans, I love you forever. Thank you. So for those who wanted to talk bad about the man.
Shout out T-Stead.
Shout out to Teron Armstead. Now let's talk about this because Soul brought this up. There was a lot of strained relationships between quarterbacks and teams. Baker Mayfield obviously is one of them. He wants to be traded. It seems as though the Panthers or the Seahawks are the last two teams that really need a quarterback. I was told today that the Panthers are not interested. The Panthers are not interested in Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield is not interested in going to the Panthers. So that leaves one team, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of days, but we all know Cleveland isn't going to keep Mayfield because they actually signed Jacoby Brissett, the former Colts quarterback, to be their backup to Watson. So they have to move Baker Mayfield at some point.
Cut him.
Or cut him. So I don't
because
know.
he's on a rookie deal.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're gonna cut him, and I think they would want to get something out of him. But if they can't, then they have no choice but to cut him.
And he's on a rookie deal, so
yep.
At the end of the day, it's not like a $40 million. It's not an albatross contract. It's not a huge contract. So and they already said that he's a child. They said we want an adult at the man. But that hurt. I know they got to hurt.
Yeah,
I said so.
They said
Baker Mayfield.
They said one of his tendencies wasn't getting the ball out fast enough last year. That was the number one knock on him, that he wasn't getting the ball out fast.
And if you got Odell Beckham Jr. on your team, I don't know why you're not getting him the ball. A lot of people starting to think Odell Beckham Jr. was wrong with him. But he went to the Los Angeles Rams, and they just found a way to get him the ball. I bet you if OBJ came here, we would find a way to get him the ball on these quick slants. Boy, he would touch the ball at least 10 times a game. Definitely.
Facts. That is true. That is true. Now, I want to give a big shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals, man. They seen what happened in the Super Bowl. They know that they needed to protect Joe Burrow. They went and signed guard Alex Kappa. They signed another guard. Yesterday, they went out and signed offensive tackle, formerly of the Cowboys, former LSU, Lael Collins, man, to block for Joe Burrow.
From Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they have solidified that line for him going into next season. So be on the lookout for the Bengals, man. They did sign Eli Apple back as well. I don't know why, but they did.
Cheap contract. Cheap.
Yep. They signed.
He ain't get no big money. Nope.
Man, sign Eli back.
Yep.
Eli's solid, man. He just ain't no star.
Yeah.
And he gonna get burnt. He gonna get burnt, bro. He gonna get burnt like some burnt toast.
He gave
That's
up.
always gonna be the
Overdone
weakest
donut.
link. That's always
He always gonna be the weakest link.
They got to score a lot of points because he gonna give up a couple of touchdowns for sure.
Our rookie better than him. Our rookie better than him.
You are.
Debo better than him. Yeah, Apple
sure.
is the weakest. Debo is better than him. Our rookie is better than him.
I agree with that for sure. And then just a few NFL news moves that happened. Wide receiver, formerly of the Jets, Jamison Crowder, signed a 1-year deal with the Bills. Former Seahawks tight end Gerald Everett signed with the LA Chargers. So big shout out to the Chargers. They making moves.
Shitwater.
And this is one thing that pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. I think this pissed me off more than a Watson situation. The Rams traded wide receiver Robert Woods to the Tennessee Titans for a 6th-round pick. Now, why the hell couldn't the Saints go out there and trade a 6th-round pick for Robert Woods? Could you imagine Mike Thomas and Robert Woods together?
Right.
Come on, man. Like, what are the Saints doing right now? And the night before, somebody was DMing me on Twitter. They was like, who do you think we should get? I'm like, man, if we could trade for Robert Woods, that'd be awesome. Next thing you know, the next day, 6th-round pick for Robert Woods. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Do you know the Rams have an inflated? So I think the question is with the Rams. The Rams are not interested in trading the Saints, nobody, because they know we own their ass. So, at the end of the day, they want to trade them guy to the AFC, and they saw that Julio was leaving and whatnot. So they had one of them backdoor arrangements and whatnot. It's not like they put a sign up that said we are about to trade Robert Woods. So, and one person who was upset about it was the cornerback from the Rams, Jalen Ramsey. Mr. Ramsey. He was like, wow, y'all traded Robert Woods? What? And then they brought in another guy. So at the end of the day, a lot of people moving, changing homes. But at the end of the day, and I think the Rams understand that the Saints, when healthy, will beat the Rams. I feel like we would have been in the Super Bowl this year if everybody would have stayed healthy. The way our defense was playing. Beat the Rams and the 49ers, all of them. And they know that. So I think this year us being healthy, we'll see how the chips may fall. But I'm confident that we can make it up.
To have a winning record, 9-8. I don't think no other team would have did that, losing they starting signal caller. And going.
We have 4 different quarterbacks. Just holding on.
Some people that ain't even a quarterback, if you know what I mean.
You talking about Ian Book?
No, he a quarterback.
You're talking about
Keep going.
You're talking about City.
No, keep going.
You talking about Trevor? You talking about Trevor?
Another one that like to run over people.
You talking about Trevor?
I'm talking about Taysom Hill. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah, well. His record as a starter is 5-2. That's all I'll say.
Our record as a team is 5-2. He didn't do jack. The defense did.
Okay. And look, Trevor Siemian actually visited the Chicago Bears today, so he might be going to Chicago. We'll see.
Yeah, Trevor got to go. Farewell, Trevor Siemian. No more quarterbacks with a mullet on this team.
Man, who won our last game of the season, bro? In order to give us an opportunity to get in the playoff, Trevor Siemian, bro. Give that man some credit, y'all. That's a shame, bro. A lot of them games, Trevor Siemian did not lose, bro. Y'all know
we're gonna let you stand out there by yourself with Trevor Siemian, bro.
I can stand, bro, because I'm an honest dude.
You can have that one.
I'm an honest dude.
You on the plank by yourself, bro.
I can't do it.
I'm gonna be honest. I would rather Trevor Siemian at quarterback than Taysom Hill.
He lost every game he played, so
any day.
He lost every game he started, so
any day. He won the last game of the year.
Who started that game?
Him.
No, he did not.
Who started?
Taysom Hill started that game.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. And he got hurt. His foot got hurt in the middle of the game.
In the first quarter? So who won the game?
My question is who started?
Trevor Siemian. We're not worried about who started.
No.
People say that, yes, we are. And Trevor Siemian, I'm going to be honest with you, won the Tampa game. Because, what's his name? Winston got hurt.
In that game.
Siemian finished the game.
Right, so you're proving my point. Look, you're proving my point. Trevor Siemian lost every single game he started. Period. You can't dispute that.
Yeah, he did. But he came in for Winston and beat Tampa.
All right. He just needed a little kickstart. That's all.
He marched us down the field on Atlanta, and we went up. So who lost that game with Atlanta?
I'll take Colin Kaepernick over Trevor Siemian, over Taysom Hill, over Ian Book. Just bring Kaepernick on. Let's go.
Kaepernick.
What Kaepernick can do, man. You know, you put him in there, you know, with the pads on and everything. It's been too long, bro. 2016, bro. I had to see him in preseason or something.
That man was at the prime of his career. I'm always standing up for my new
prime now, though.
Why not? He ain't been getting hit.
That's all right. He rusty. Just like if you take a car and just sit it up and don't.
You say rusty. You call rusty. I call fresh.
Look, let me tell you. You take a car and just sit it. You know what I'm saying? Sit it. What's gonna happen? It's gonna dry rot. The wheels go dry rot.
He always give us a car example.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Say, bro, with Ian Book, bro, you don't want to take the nice Corvette out the garage, bro. You know, it's raining outside, bro.
No, he always do that, bro. He always
I like
give
cars,
us a car example.
I like cars.
Say, bro, when it's sprinkling and when it's raining outside, bro, you don't want to bring the Corvette outside, bro.
Bro, he always do that, bro. He always do that, man.
Boy, Ian Book is a El Camino, boy.
Oh man,
He a little baby, he a little Nissan Cube.
That boy.
I actually had one of those. So
I'm back. All right.
1970 Pontiac Fire.
Yeah. That's a good car. That's a good car, though.
Look, let me tell y'all something. Another car example. All right, we had the Charger. That was Winston, and somebody brought a Rolls Royce Lamborghini. That was Watts. You know, but we had to give up. The dude that was in the Rolls Royce Lamborghini said, "Look, I need to get y'all 55-inch TV. I need to get that washing machine. You know, we didn't want to give up all that at our house, man. We'll take the Charger, bro. We'll deal with the Charger. We almost lost both.
If he would have came to New Orleans, boy, with that Lambo, he would have got carjacked. Straight up. These people not playing right now. They'll carjack you over a fucking Beetle. You know what
when I'm at a red light, I'm looking everywhere. I'm looking at the rear view camera everywhere, bro. If I see somebody pull up wrong or get out there, I'm pulling over.
I don't stop at no red lights no more. Straight,
bro.
Straight, bro. But speaking of the Rams and Matthew Stafford agreed on a 4-year extension worth $160 million. So they locked in their quarterback for the next 4 years. Obviously, he won a Super Bowl, but look, Charlotte, I ain't lying. Look, I'm going through every red light. I don't give a shit what's going on. Listen,
he done went back to the carjacking.
Yeah, listen. I'm driving, dog. Look, the light.
Hey, did y'all hear about that horrific crime?
The carjacking with that elderly woman, with the elderly lady.
Ridiculous, bro. That's a shame.
It's bad.
Y'all know how old 19-year-old guy and 3 15-year-old done ruined their life. You know, I'm saying
that lady's arm was stuck in her seatbelt when they drove off with her, and they dragged her down 3 blocks until her arm separated from her body and she bled out, bro. How grotesque is that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At what point do we understand there's a level of humanity that you have to have for everyone?
I just want to say prayers for that woman's family.
Her family.
You know, that's a shame to die like that, horrifically, like that. And you know, I feel for the parents of the kids. I feel for the kids too, because they wasn't brought up right or something. You know, it's sad. You know, it's sad, man. These kids don't have no heart, nothing. So is that, I mean, I don't even want to talk about it, bro.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that, man. It's just to the point where, man, it's just getting outrageous. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people are, you know, on the mayor's ass about it, but you got to also understand too, you know, how when something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It just sucks. You know, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And I hate putting it that way. But man, you know, the crime down in New Orleans, bro, it's outrageous, man. I mean, and it's not, you would think it would be from people that are in their 30s or 40s, you know, doing this type of stuff. And like you said, so, you know, 15-year-olds, it's like, where are these people's parents, you know? Where are these people's parents? Why aren't these kids in school? It was
Yeah, baby, they need Jesus, Miss
yeah,
Kim.
it's 1:00, 1:30 in the afternoon. Why are these kids are
Why
not
they
in
ain't in
school?
school? Right,
You know
They
what
exactly.
should have been in school. It was a Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday. Why y'all not in school? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit's stupid, man. It's just stupid. You know, a 73-year-old lady lost her life, you know, and that's the thing, man. Lock your doors. Whenever you're in your car and you just sitting in your car, man, lock your doors. You never know what's going to happen. Like Soul said, man, just look around, you know, even when you're at the stoplight, you know, look around, make sure, you know, and for real, and to be honest, like when you pull up behind somebody, like let's say there's a car or two in front of you, man, don't be all the way up on its ass, you know. Give it some space so where if something do happen, you could kind of jet off, you know.
Spin out.
And
Yeah,
let me say one more thing. Ladies, don't go out at night by yourself because that's the main victims. They're getting single women and they're carjacking single women. So I mean, make sure you with somebody. You got a guy, your brother, your dad, your friend, somebody with you. You know, at least don't never ride solo, especially women. You know, at night, late at night. You know, because that's what they're targeting. You know, single women. You know, and then they pulling them out the cars. You know, one lady almost got ran over a month ago.
yeah,
Remember Uptown?
yeah.
She
Uptown.
almost got ran over by a bus.
Yep.
You know, if the bus didn't stop, she would have been smashed. You know, so
Guys, never drive without your heater. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
not
Say,
everybody
make sure you keep the thing together.
deal with guns, though,
I'm
bro.
from Uptown, man. I say we know
Yeah,
the code, we know the
you
rules.
know we
You
scrap.
think this G code is a game?
You
Okay,
know
I
we
stick to the
scrap.
G code at all times. Boy, don't come knocking on my window asking me for $1. I'm telling you, boy, at that time of night, do not. It might happen to you.
Hey
I
Teddy,
said, don't come knock on my window. Talk about, man. Let me hold us up. Don't be
Teddy,
me.
remember we was walking
Be
down the
making no
street, man.
abrupt.
I would tell you, Teddy. Well, Teddy, this dude, me and Teddy was coming from somewhere, coming down the street, and I think we was coming from the bar getting something to eat. But this dude had came up to you, remember? And he
Yeah,
was walking towards you, and you said, "Hey, bro, go ahead home." You had got serious on him, bro. You know, because the dude kept on coming up on us, man. And when he was asking for money or something,
said, bro. It don't
trying to
matter what you
money.
was asking for. You coming up. You coming up too close to me, bro.
Yeah, he asking for dude. They found
What
him in that
Slim?
joint and knocked out.
Teddy G? What Slim said? I keep that motherfucking heater on.
Heater on me. I keep the heater on me.
Look,
But yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
on 90s. You know, I like Minister Society, bro. Yo, you scrap? Yeah, I'm strapped.
so so
All
old
day.
school for real,
I
boy.
say all day. Shouts out to
I don't
Element
know nothing about
Beverage.
no heater.
Yeah, no
I'm
doubt. Shouts
strapped.
out to Element
I'm
Beverage. I
strapped.
said, yeah, we condone get your concealed carry license. Okay. I said, but you want to stay safe. Save our sons. That'll be our next podcast that
I
we
ain't
do
Kim.
here at Moxie. We did another podcast a while back on love and relationships for Valentine's Day. I said, but Moxie, we're gonna have our Save Our Sons podcast talking about how to protect, people in the streets, our sons and daughters, like Soul was saying, and Nader. I said we want to make sure that we're saving our sons and our daughters from senseless violence out here. So you know what I'm saying? I just want to show y'all real quick. This is the Moxie, everybody. I said, so it's a really nice bar, and this is the nook that I'm in, that where we tape the podcast. So it's very spacious, and this is our chicken up there, the Moxie chicken. I said, so Moxie, we're down here 210 O'Keefe. Tell a friend, tell an enemy. I said, thank you. I just wanted to give a shout out to Element Beverage Company and the Lemonade Podcast because Element sponsors this show, and we love them dearly.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Now, before we get out of here, I just want to say this. I want to give our condolences out to John Clayton of ESPN. Growing up, man, watching ESPN, you would always see John Clayton on commercials or just talking about the NFL. So, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. He just passed away. So, big shout out to him, man, for doing everything that he did with ESPN and his columns and his commercials and just giving people insight on football and the NFL is really, really good. So he died this past weekend. So rest in peace.
We lost Teddy. So we're gonna go ahead on out.
Yep. So yeah, man, we'll see. Well, listen, thank y'all to everybody that tuned in. We appreciate y'all every week, man. We'll be back next Tuesday covering everything else that's going on. Plus, we about to ramp it up. We about to get y'all ready for this NFL draft coming up next month. So listen, man, every week we're gonna be pumping it up.
I want to say a couple of things before we go.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that I still have my cruise. Anybody that's still interested, we got good prices on the cruise. We got a little over a month away from the cruise. I got Ricky Jackson as my co-host, Tyrone Hughes, Chopper gonna be on that thing doing this thing. Jay the Wizard, me, myself, MJ Anola. He's gonna do a whole MJ show. It's gonna be off the chain. So if y'all interested, inbox me, Zell Knox. Inbox me, man, for the cruise. And also remember my show Thursday night. We're gonna be on this Thursday. My boys Mike Tannehill and Mike Teasy and my boy Hakeem the Dream. So make sure you stay tuned. Check us out. Hopefully the Saints be done made some moves by then. Sometime we'll have Nathan Murphy on, man, as a special guest. So hey, make sure you check us out. And last but not least, I gotta show this nice every Tuesday. Sports overtime, bro.
Yeah. And listen, so I want to say this. But if you could put that flyer back up there. For anybody that watches Sports Overtime and is a fan of Sports Overtime, man, I'm gonna get this flyer put on a shirt. So if you want a shirt with this,
advertise for us.
Yeah, advertise for us, man. So if y'all want a shirt, and listen, we're not gonna charge that much for the shirts, but obviously because we gotta pay for them. But if you want a shirt with this flyer on there, let me know, DM me, and I'll get it made for you, whatever size you need. Okay, so definitely.
And both shows are affiliated, so I'm gonna get ready to do some Tell It Like It Is shirts too.
Yep.
For us, so that way, hey, we doing both. Both shows are affiliated. Yep. We all brothers, and man, we try to bring 2 good shows on every week for y'all.
And I will say this. So I just want everybody that's tuned in to be careful. This was a tornado that just hit Araby right now. So make sure y'all be safe, man, for real. Y'all be safe. That's the tornado that just hit Araby, man.
Man, I hope it ain't a lot of devastation. I hope nobody lost their life. Ron Scherfel just sent me a video of a hurricane on the west, a tornado on the West Bank. So, hey, bro, everybody be safe, and I'm gonna pray for y'all, man. Pray for us.
Yeah, man.
Where you at? You on the West Bank, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm out here in St. Tammany in Covington. So, right now it's not raining, so I hope the worst is over. Because I did hear it, but now I think we okay. Guess where I'm gonna be this weekend, bro?
Where? I'm going somewhere too. Where you going?
Where you going?
I'm going to Dallas.
Saturday, I'm gonna be in Bay St. Louis, Ricky Jackson birthday party. I was invited.
All right.
And all the Hall of Famers gonna be there. Eric Dickerson, a lot of the Hall of Famers gonna be there. So I'm gonna take a lot of pictures. And
man, you know what you need to do? You need to exchange a lot of numbers. We need to get them
right.
on the show.
Get them on the show. Right. It don't matter because Eric Dickerson is my favorite running back all the time. So and he still got 2 records that's never been broken yet. And I don't think by teams wanting to pass all the time and going to 2 running backs, I don't think it'll ever be broken. That's the rookie rushing record, and then all-time most rushing yards in a season. He had both of those. Eric Dickerson, bro. So y'all have a good night.
All right, so we'll see y'all next week, man. Live on Sports Overtime.
We go out with a little music.
We out.
We out.
Saints our favorite team. Who that on the scene for show and no living the dream. Let go. Before we
Orleans song, let me put it on your mind. My New Orleans Saints get it right on time. Our main objective, put a winner on the field. Let me tell you, Saints fans, the struggle is real. Win, lose, or draw, we by their side. Our Saints are the bus that we gon' ride all the way to the Super Bowl. Look around, all you see is black and gold. We love our team, young and old. Die hard Saints fans like the king and soul. I'm yelling, who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat